Do you have a bunion and worried your only option is surgery? Do you think that you just have to wait for your bunion to get so bad and just wait and wait and wait for it to get more painful until your only option is surgery? Make sure you watch this video. I'm going to take you through a great option to avoid the surgical intervention and why you should try and avoid surgical intervention if you should. Even surgeons will admit that bunion surgery is trauma to your foot. At the end of the day, they're cutting open something that you walk on. So the reality is that it's a really big deal when you get it done. And most surgeons are very ethical and won't do it unless they absolutely have to. In the background is a picture of an x-ray of a post-bunion surgery. So you can see it's pretty gruesome. I'm going to take you through that in just a moment. And then also I'm going to give you a great option so you can avoid surgery for your bunion in the vast majority of cases. So when people say, is bunion surgery that big a deal? The reality is that all surgery is a big deal, and most of us know that, but some of us don't actually realise. So most surgeons, and we had someone in who got a quote with the bunion surgery just the other day, and the reality is that these primarily are the issues. That the bunion surgery, she was advised that it's about $8,000 a foot, or between $7,000 and $8,000 a foot, just 1 foot. It's about 6 to 8 weeks off your feet. And before the swelling stops, the recovery is about 12 to 18 months. And surgeons do a great job if surgery is indicated, but the reality is that surgery is pretty full on. I don't think people actually gather how full on surgery actually is until they actually go down that road. The other thing is that because of the compensations that occur with surgery, and you've got to remember that with surgery, they are pinning your foot, is the other compensations that occur. So you get a whole range of other foot problems that are associated with that because they've cut into your foot. So in the background here, we can actually see these are pins within someone's bones. This particular person who came in to see us was quite disappointed with the outcomes associated with the surgery. She can't move her big toe anymore. It's completely fixed, or it's just get a little bit of movement, but not much. And the reality is you can see those massive pins. So the surgeons had to go in and break these tissues, and then he's pinned them all back into place. I'm not saying he's done a bad job, and I'm not being critical of the surgeon, but the reality is that the outcomes of surgery are very significant, and the surgery itself is quite significant. It's very expensive, and you have a lot of time off your feet. And so this particular person, at the end of the day, one of the negative side effects is down the track, it's about 12 months down the track, she's still getting pain, and she's also starting to get a neuroma through this area here. Because she can't move her big toe as well, she's getting other compensations through her foot that are going and flaring up those tissues. If you're wondering what a neuroma is a nerve entrapment that sits in here. The reason that it happens is because you can't use this guy as much, you overuse this part of your foot and you compensate through that area. So once again, not bagging out surgery, I'm not having a go at surgery, but the reality is that if you could avoid surgery, why wouldn't you? Unfortunately, in many instances, people leave it because their bunion doesn't hurt them. And then what happens is they get a nasty surprise because they might have some osteoarthritis through here and that type of thing. But the upside is at our clinic, we have been successfully treating bunions for over 20 years. And the reality is that in most cases, you can avoid the need for surgical intervention. And the reality is that you just want to get onto it as soon as you possibly can. As a result, we're offering a special offer, 60% off our initial bunion assessment, so you can get your bunion checked and see if our treatment options are relevant for you. If they aren't, well, we can always refer you off for surgery, and we can always look at other options. But the reality is that in the vast majority of cases, you can avoid the need for surgical intervention. You might say, well, how do you do that? Well, the reality is that the way we do it is through a gentle hands-on technique where we work on correcting that level of alignment within your bunion itself, and then we build up the muscles around it so that we actually start to improve the alignment of your arch and your ankle, and we also start to straighten that out to a degree by loosening and strengthening those tissues. And in many, many cases, it's very successful, and the upside is there's no cutting. It's a fraction of the cost of surgery. It's nowhere near the same cost. You can keep playing sport. You can keep wearing a variety of footwear. You can keep being active. There's no downtime. So the cost and the downtime is nowhere near as involved. So definitely worth considering. So if this is something you're interested in, click on the link below. It's 60% off an initial bunion assessment. If you've got any questions or queries, please put them in the link below. We'd love to hear from you. If you like this information, please click on the video, click like and subscribe. We try and put out heaps of useful information so you can get the best out of your foot health and avoid surgery in many cases.